my TPC. Welcome to the Groovinpiper channel. This is Cody. Today I'm going to talk about a little mix I threw together. Smoking it in my little basket pipe. Got it from my local tinderbox a while back. Good little smoker. It's a 9mm, but I just rock it with no filters. So my little mix is, I don't know if any of you guys watched any of my last videos, but I scored a 8-ounce bag of Penzance from Martin over at over a pipe, and so I was canning it up, put it in a bunch of jars, and I had a couple pinches left over, like 3 or 4 good-sized pinches. So I tossed that into a little jar, and then I crumbled up a Peter Stokeby's Luxury Navy Flake, and I threw that in there with it. And it's been sitting in there for about a week, maybe a little over a week. Some might think that's blasphemy to mix anything with Penzance, but I'm having some fun. And I have to say, it's still that good creamy Penzance with like a kick of Virginias, and I could vaguely get the Preak on the retrohale, a little bit. So, catching up on some videos and watching some Smurfinelli. So shout out to you, Smurfinelli. Somebody, I was reading the comments. Somebody said that he's the king of the retrohale. I'd like to battle you, Mr. Matt Smurfinelli. Because that's pretty much how I learned to smoke a pipe. When I was learning how to do the breath method, I was just leaving the pipe in, And it's just kind of like this circular breathing. Let a little bit in, and I just let it escape through the nose, come in, exit the nose. Retrohaling is probably one of my favorite parts about pipe smoking. It opens up flavors that you don't get when you just have it on the tongue. When it gets to flow through all your sensory stuff, that's when all the flavors pop out. So I was going to talk a little bit about how to retrohale. I see some people have some difficulties, and it is kind of hard to explain, but I'm going to try my best. So when you take a draw of the pipe, it's like you're sipping a straw, right? Like, say you have a soda or a beverage with a straw, so you're sipping. You sip up and the liquid hits your mouth. It is now in your mouth. Well, what you do after that is then you just swallow it down. Do not do that with a pipe. But the act of swallowing is kind of similar to the act of retrohaling. I kind of find myself pushing the tongue to the roof of my mouth and just breathing out normally through my nose. So you want to make sure that all the smoke has left your nose, and even at the very end, if you need to let the rest out through your mouth, do so before you take another breath in. Because unless you're skilled in inhaling pipe tobacco, I would recommend leaving any in your mouth and then breathing in. Motorcycles. Neighbor kid just got a new motorcycle, so it's all the time. So yeah, it's just you're basically keeping it. You're taking it in into your mouth, and then you're just pushing it out through your nose by just leaving your mouth closed. Maybe if you're pressing your tongue to the roof of your mouth to kind of, aim it for your sinus or whatever that thing is that connects your nose to your mouth. I don't know, I'm no doctor. And then you just breathe out through your nose. You just let it all go. And then you just sit in wonderment of all the extra flavors that you're getting. Wonderment? Not sure that's a word. But if anybody has any questions or anything about retrohaling or want an even more in-depth video about it, let me know, because I do feel like I can probably explain it a little bit better. But I do want to talk a little bit more about this mix. It kind of reminds me of Squadron Leader a little bit, because I kind of feel like that's pretty heavy on the Virginias. It's really good quality Virginias, and of course the Latakia is in there. And being that it's Penzance, you definitely get that Penzance smokiness and the smoothness and the creaminess. But when I got the little bit of a Virginia and just a touch of Perique that they put in the Luxury Navy Flake, you get that little extra kick, which it's still super smooth. You get a little spice from the Perique, which kind of plays off of the Latakia, and it's not too shabby. I mean, I don't think I'm going to do this all the time, but as an experiment, I think it came off pretty good. This needed a tampon like 5 minutes ago. So you kind of get this thing if you retrohale a good quantity of smoke. It's kind of like when you take a big bite of ice cream and you get that kind of like a brain freeze a little bit. You kind of get like this little bit of nose burn, but it's like the nose burn in the best possible sense. It's tingly. The flavors just bloom in all this sensory stuff you have on your face here. It's very nice. Honestly, it's what brought me back into cigars too. I learned with cigars that you can't, well, I'm sure some people can, but I can't just take a big drag off a cigar and then let it all go out my nose at once. Some cigars, yes, but most, it's just, whew, man, you get that tingle is big time tingle. So when you're smoking a cigar, You let it mostly go out your mouth. Let a little bit of the tail end come out your nose to get that that end note. That's it for me. I just didn't have much to do on this Thursday evening. I don't have to go to work tomorrow till 7:30 a.m. So I get to sleep in. But I think that's going to do it for me. Hope everybody's doing well. Love all you guys. Guys and gals. I know I always say guys. I know there's a few gals that watch me out there. Love you guys too. Thanks for watching. And keep your pipes clean and loaded. We'll see you on the next one.